anybody. I don't care who it is. You put the Incredible Hulk in front of me and I'll fight. I don't care who it is. I'm going to come out victorious. Everybody talking too much. They talking about saying this, saying that. Shut up and sign some contracts and make it happen. Stop talking so much.
James for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so we just discussed this on yesterday's live. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It was a 2-hour live here on True School Sports. But I wanted to do my video on this, more of like a concentrated video on this, because this has just been heartbreaking stuff. Like, really and truthfully, this has been heartbreaking stuff to see. I've seen this movie before, and I wasn't a fan of the first movie, so I'm not going to be a fan of the sequel. And what I'm talking about is the fact that Jaron Ennis, for all intents and purposes, did in fact avoid the Vergil Ortiz fight. And his career is in fact starting to look more and more and more like Demetrius Andrade. And, you know, I was a big Demetrius Andrade fan, but I wasn't a big fan of the Demetrius Andrade movie, aka his boxing career, how it all played out, because it could have been so much more, you know, in terms of his talent and self-actualizing and realizing all of his potential. But he didn't do that because of mismanagement and bad decision after bad decision. And now it's the same thing with Boots, a super talented, you know, individual with a high ceiling to do some great things in boxing, and I'm sure we'll still do some great things in boxing. But right now, it's not looking too encouraging. It's not fun to see how he ducked this fight. Let's just call it for what it is. I like Boots Ennis. I love his father, Bozy. I've been to the gym in Philly. I got no problem with them personally. It's just I gotta call a spade a spade. It's been a wide known fact for years that Vergil Ortiz can't make 147. I think it's been well over 800 days since he made 147. It was highly publicized that, you know, he had to go to the hospital because of all these conditions he had, rhabdomyosis and overtraining, to get down to 147. That's why he pulled out of the Stanionis fight, and why that fight could have happened. That was a big factor in that not happening. So the fact that when, you know, they both verbally agreed to fight. They had both come to the mutual understanding that Vergil Ortiz wants to fight Jaron Ennis and Jaron Ennis wants to fight Vergil Ortiz. However, once it came time to get down to the nitty-gritty and iron out the details in the term sheet, you know, supposedly Boots' team had put that they wanted to fight at 147 because he wanted to defend his IBF world title 147 against Vergil, which is going to be a no-go because Vergil cannot make 147. It's common knowledge. Everyone in boxing knows this, and if they don't know this, then they shouldn't be involved in boxing, because this has been anybody who's followed Vergil Ortiz at all the last two years knows that he can't make 147 anymore. So I don't understand what this obsession is with the IBF title and keeping the belt in a very, very thin welterweight division, where apart from maybe Brian Norman Jr. or Conor Benn or maybe Barrios, I mean, there's not really a lot of fights there for Boots, like, that are going to really do a ton for his career. Really and truthfully, he'd be better served to go to 154, you know, because let's just say, hypothetically, he fights Vergil. Let's say Vergil Ortiz beats him. Let's say it's a good fight. Maybe Vergil outworks him. Maybe he wins a close decision. Maybe even a controversial decision over Boots. Well, guess what? They could do a rematch, or he could fight one of the other gajillion 54-pounders like Fundora, like Boachuk, like Madrimov, like Bakram, like Tim Tszyu, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. There's so many names. There's so many options for him there, but he's not even, like, his management team or whoever is in charge, or maybe it's even him himself. Whoever is in charge, they're not giving Boots a chance to be the best Boots he can be. So that's the most disheartening thing about this whole thing, is he's going to stay in the junior varsity 147 division, which nobody really cares about right now. The real smoke, the real action is at 154. The real division where Boots will be able to really move the needle and make some things happen for his career and get some things moving and shaking will be at 154. And I understand the optics of it. Like, Vergil's had a couple fights at 154. He even fought out top 54-pounder in Boachuk, who's another guy Boots could fight, hypothetically, if he moved up. But, like, so maybe asking Boots to fight Vergil in his first fight is asking too much at this point. Maybe he should get a fight to acclimate and adjust to the weight. But it's like, if you're really like that, like we've been hearing for years, like even I've said Boots is like that, like he's a top fighter, top talent, and I'm having second thoughts about even what I think because of how they're moving. Because when you show this amount of unbelief in yourself, how can I believe the same way? If you don't believe in yourself, how can I maintain belief? You know, so it's just real unfortunate. It's real unfortunate, and maybe it happens in the future. I hope it does, because it's a fight we talked about for a long time, and Jaron Ennis needs something significant in his career. He's got a whole lot of wins, a whole lot of fights. He's got a whole lot of flash. But let's be real. Let's call it a spade a spade. Let's keep it 100 here on True School Sports. Jaron Ennis, for all the talent and flash he does have as a fighter, he's lacking substance on his resume, and he's lacking substance as far as big fights in his career, or meaningful fights. It don't gotta be a big fight, but meaningful fights in his career. So that's where I'm at with that. I'll touch on this real briefly here with Vergil Ortiz. You know, he's gonna fight Madrimov now, and that's a whole separate video on its own. But I wanted to discuss Xander Zayas because Xander Zayas was asked if he would fight Vergil, and he did say yes. And you know, listen, you know, I don't know what they do in Philadelphia, but in South Florida, we don't turn down no smoke in South Florida. just joking. Philadelphia, calm down. I love Philadelphia. Don't get all mad, because I know the Philadelphians do get mad. But nah, in all seriousness, I would have loved to have seen Xander fight Vergil Ortiz, because I feel like Xander, he's younger than Boots, but you know, some of the same things I can say for Boots, I can also say for Xander. Like, Xander has a career that's been hyped up, and he's been groomed to be the next Puerto Rican star. And Peter Khan, who's a great manager, has taken his time, but his career even lacks a little bit of substance in terms of opponents. So I would have loved the Vergil Ortiz fight, because it would have been two young guns. You know, he's not going to have the same problems Boots is going to have at 54, because Boots has to come up and adjust to the weight, as to where Xander has already been fighting there his whole career. He's already filled out. He's getting bigger and wider in terms of his frame every fight. So I'll say it like this: Madrimov has to fight Boachuk, and I think Boachuk's gonna lump that dude up. Whether Madrimov wins or loses against Boachuk is gonna put him through some things. He's not gonna walk out that ring unscathed, win or lose against Boachuk. So it's possible Madrimov don't even make it to the Vergil fight, just because it's going to be such a tough outing against Boachuk. And then if that's the case, I would like to see Xander Zayas step in, fight Vergil Ortiz, and give the people a great fight. He agreed to the fight. I would like to know, like, and maybe I should probably reach out myself. I would like to know what Peter Khan thought about all this. You know, if Peter Khan was on board with this. And I got Peter's number, so I'll give him a text. Like, what did Peter Khan think of the whole Xander versus Vergil thing? You know, Xander may have said yes, but did Peter Khan, was he on board with that? That's one thing I want to know. But yeah, I think Xander's in a great place. I think 2025 he'll be in a big fight, and who knows? Again, like, there's so many options for Boots. Like, that's another one. Like, in a hypothetical scenario, if Boots were to move up to 154, Xander's another option. You know, Xander's a fighter that is with Top Rank, and Boots with Matchroom, and we know Top Rank and Matchroom both sold out to Turkey Al Sheikh, so they're all under the same umbrella. So that's like the truckload of options Jaron Ennis would have at 154 is endless, and it knows no bounds. So that's why I'm so perplexed, and I'm just scratching my head as to what this obsession is with keeping the title 147. You're not going to go undisputed because Mario Barrios is not going to fight you. I did an interview with Bozy Ennis, who literally said they need $100 million to fight Jaron Ennis here on True School Sports. Mario Barrios wants to fight, you know, Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao and everyone but Jaron Ennis. He's not looking that direction. And I know from being in the presence of Bob Santos with Bozy Ennis on this channel that is not a fight that's going to happen. So staying at 147 because you want to go undisputed is dumb. Go to 154 and give yourself the best chances to succeed. Don't be like Demetrius Andre. Don't take a gun and shoot yourself in the foot. Give yourself the best chances to succeed. So that's my thoughts on Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz and Xander. You know, shout out to the young kid Xander, South Florida stand up. And yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time. Take care.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here. Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.